What's happening, Hardscapers? This is episode 317 of the How to Hardscape podcast, where we talk about how you can start and grow your hardscaping business. And on today's episode, we have a full-on marketing episode with James Reed of Affordable Patio and Patio SEO. If you've been listening, you'll know that Patio SEO has jumped on board as a sponsor of the How to Hardscape podcast. And James has built this brand of Affordable Patio and does 90 estimates a week with his business, and talks about how he has been able to do so through branding and marketing on today's episode, talking you through branding, website, Google, Facebook, organic reach, and so much more. And the value in today's episode is really that James is a hardscaper that branched out and started this marketing business and still continues to operate as a hardscape business. So you know that he's got the results to show for the marketing that he does. And he shares a lot of how he gets those 90 estimates a week in today's episode. And if you want to reach out to James and his team to see what they can do for you, check them out at PatioSEO.com. Get that conversation started today. But before we get into today's episode, we want to thank our sponsors. Cycle CPA. If you're looking for bookkeeping, accounting, CFO services, reach out to Cycle CPA at cyclecpa.com. Let them know How to Hardscape sent you for money off their services there. Patio SEO has hopped on board as a sponsor, and they are a leading marketing and brand building company in the hardscape industry. And if you don't know, this company is run by James Reed. We've had him on the podcast a couple of times, some of our more popular episodes, and he owns hardscape businesses across the country. And now you can have access to the same in-house marketing team that he has access to at PatioSEO.com. So if you're looking for a killer website, targeted ads, or data-driven strategies to grow, check them out at PatioSEO.com. August 19th to the 20th, Knowledge Tree Consulting is having another event at Koivik. This event is in Toronto. Koivik is in Milton. I went to their event last year with Earthscape. It was awesome. I can't recommend this enough. There's going to be a link in the show notes for you to sign up for it and get 50% off your tickets today. If you're planning to go to Hardscape North America in Louisville, Kentucky, October 22nd to the 24th, you can use promo code VIPHTH to sign up, get 50% off your registration. That also gives us a little bit of a kickback and helps us here at the How to Hardscape podcast. And without further ado, let's get into today's episode with James Reed. Today, we're joined by James Reed. If you've heard him on the podcast before, you know he's got a lot of great advice, and probably some of the most feedback we get from listeners is from James Reed's episodes. AffordablePatio.com, PatioSEO.com, which if you've been listening to the podcast recently, they've hopped on board as a sponsor. So thank you so much for that. And we're going to get into marketing pretty heavy here because I've been getting messages. I'm sure, James, you get messages from contractors. Hey, we need leads now, or what can we do for marketing to set ourselves up for the future? So this is going to be a marketing heavy episode. James, thank you so much for joining us.
Awesome, Mike. Thank you again for having me on. I enjoy it so much. What I've told you, before podcast, what I like is my other episodes, we never talked about marketing because I didn't want to really sell. I just wanted to let hardscapers know, I am that hardscaper as well. And Mike, you reached out to me talking about, hey, a lot of guys reach out about marketing. We should work together. And I'm like, yeah, Mike, I would love this. I do that. I walk that fine line where it's I just don't want to be that marketing guy that's pitching things, because I am not. I'm also that, hardscaper as well. So I'm happy that we're doing this episode heavily focusing on marketing only. And the reason is, most people, if they don't know, our company is called AffordablePatio.com. We're a patio installation company. We're cooking, bro. We have multiple locations across the nation. We're probably opening up 1 to 2 every single year. And every episode I always talk about systems, processes of the hardscape and the real value. Where this episode, me and you've talked, I want to bring value on how I'm opening up all these locations and able to do, and strictly on marketing and brand building. So now you guys understand, I know what I'm talking about the hardscaping end. Now let me talk about how we're building all our locations, all our companies, and all our brands that are feeding this machine.
Yeah, and with all of our other interviews that we've done, it's been hard to get to marketing because you bring up so many great topics that we just go down rabbit holes. So it's perfect that we're only going to focus on marketing here. But James, set the stage for our audience. Your locations, the number of leads that you got coming in to be able to sustain those locations, estimates that you're going out for. Give us a little bit of context here as to what we're working with.
Okay, awesome. So, been in the industry 15 years. Started in Long Island, Suffolk County, which is one half of Long Island. Now we have our Long Island location. We have another location in Nassau County, which is like the next county over. Long Island's not big, but with traffic, it's like over an hour. Like anyone that knows New York, it's over an hour away because of traffic. It might only be like 15 miles, but because of traffic, we don't go that far. It's also another county, different rules, different regulations. We have a location in Tampa, Florida, and we have a location in New Hampshire. This coming winter, we have another location coming up in the Florida area as well. All these locations were built in the last 2 years, 3 years, give or take down, because over the last 10 years, last 7 hardcore, we've been building the brand. Then now we're able to open up locations, right? This is going to be mind-boggling for a lot of people. We are doing 80 to 90 estimates every single week. That means knocking on doors and shaking customers' hands and giving proposals. So my office staff is sending out 90 estimates every single week for patios, retaining walls. We don't, and let me rewind a little. We only do patios. So we're not your hardscape. We're not your landscaping. We're not doing plants. We're not doing your irrigation. We are hyper focusing on like flat work, some retaining walls, steps in some locations. In Florida, we also do screen rooms, which goes over the patio. But that is it. So if you go on our service page, our services are walkway, driveway, patio, retaining wall. That is it. So super niche down. You guys heard in my last podcast, I've done it all. Well, niching down is where the riches is what they say. Hyper focus and duplicating it, right? So that's how we're able to nail the marketing as well, is because your ad spend and your focus and your message is hyper focused instead of being 10% sprinklers, 30% planting, 20% brick, 10% landscaping. So really hyper focusing help. I don't recommend not to do those things, but when you're building your brand advertising, it makes it easier because all your dollars and focus is on one thing.
How do you sustain 90 estimates a week? What have you done to be able to bring in that many leads that you're actually going out there and knocking on those doors and giving estimates and so on and so forth? Where did it start and where has it evolved to today?
The reason I bring up estimates and knocking on the door is other marketing companies that aren't in the industry, they call leads. Leads is someone that lands on your website or someone that maybe fills out a form and never answers. We, in our marketing business, PatioSEO, we don't care. A lead is an estimate, is when Mike or James shows up and gives a price for something. So many years ago, our company was called Precision Enterprise. And it was very vague. I was just like, what was it? Garage doors, roof it. What were you? That's where we created the name affordablepatio.com, hyper focused on the image, hyper focused on the brand. The reason we did that is if I put a yard sign outside that says affordablepatio.com, we did a patio or some type of pool patio, where Precision, you had no idea. So the reason I liked it with marketing, people put their name of their company as like the header, which is the worst thing for marketing because no one cares if it's Mike's Hardscape. They care about what your message or what your image is. Where with us, I wanted to nail it in one simple, like Apple only shows an apple and you know what the product is. Well, I just wanted to do affordablepatio.com. It's our website. It's our brand. It's also the message that we're getting across to the people. So working on that and focusing on that really made it easy to drive everything. Then obviously doing SEO work, building the best website. My famous saying is our best salesman out of all our salesmen is our website. I'm going to use you, Mike, as an example. Our website is our best salesman. That's the only reason why Mike is showing up to give the estimate as a salesperson. And that really, really helps because our guys are really more like estimators than they are salesmen. We bring everything in. We got it under control. You can't keep up. You can't keep up with us. We have 3,000 people a week on our website, building, pricing, interacting, customer education. We deal with a lot of clients in the hardscape industry, and I go on their website. I can't be on there more than a minute, 2 minutes. There's nothing there, stock photos, no interaction, no education. Our average bounce rate, which is how long they're on the website, is over 23 minutes, where Google rewards you, right? That goes back to the building of the brand, making it your best salesman. Guys have no problem spending $80,000 on a machine, but to spend $6,000 on a website is mind-boggling to them. And that's why we're doing so well, is because my competition is scared to spend $6,000 on a website. But that $80,000 excavator, no problem. But they don't understand. I could go buy 10 excavators because I have so much work to fund those 10 excavators, right? So I hope that kind of answered your question, Itch, without diving more into more stuff like we will.
Well, let's touch on website there. What causes people to stay on your website for so long? What are the different tools that you would want to highlight to a contractor that should have on their website in order for them to stay on?
So the biggest thing, and I'm going to touch a little on social media, including the website as of right now. Us contractors, what is cool to us is not cool to Mrs. Jones, who is a 50-year-old woman that wants to hire you to do their project. So the reason I say on social media, guys are doing, like I have a client, Cargan Industry, amazing guy. We're really growing their business. And his videos have like Limp Bizkit on it, and they're digging and excavating. And I'm like, hey, your 50-year-old client, Mrs. Jones, doesn't care, one, about Limp Bizkit, that kind of sounds a little aggressive, and a machine digging. She wants to see what her problem is, which is more living space, a new drive, like whatever it is. And he's like, holy shit, I never thought of that. Like, yeah, you got to put the goggles that you're the client. What do you want? You're not selling to other contractors. You're selling to, Mike, we're around the same age. We're selling to our parent. We're selling to our family members. Our parents don't care about Limp Bizkit and a Bobcat driving up and down, right? So the website, right? You want to know who is showing up at your door. So this is the biggest problem. I go on guys' websites, and Mike, I obviously know you for years now, but if I don't know who's showing up to my estimate or to my house, how am I going to feel comfortable? Where with us, we have videos on every page introducing me, the girls in the office, project managers, everybody, because that builds rapport. So, for example, guy George in Florida started whenever I left. So March, 3 months ago, he started. Well, guess what? Pictures of him are on the brochures, pictures of him are on the website. Oh, George, yeah, I saw you on one of the videos. Oh, who's that woman on Facebook? Oh, that's Christina. That's James's wife. She's the one answering. Oh, man, I love that. So, like, you're building that rapport and you're building that transparency of, like, who that person is. So, Mike, me and you, we go to the Hardscape show. People are coming up to me and like, oh, they feel like they know me, even though they never met me. So, why are you guys not doing that on your website, on your social? I love, this is my favorite thing, Mike. I don't want to be on camera. I don't feel comfortable. Well, all right, you just made up a limiting belief in your head, because guess what? I see pictures of you with your friends and with your family. The reason you don't want to be, this is very good. Any of your listeners want to write this quote down that I'm making up as we're going. The reason you don't feel comfortable on cameras, you're not proud of your brand. Because when you're proud of your brand, you want to be in front of everybody, right? If you're the shit, you want to show that you're the shit, right? And I'm not saying in a cocky way. It's just like, we spend so much money on marketing is because, yeah, I think I have one of the best companies and I want to solve everyone's problems. And I want to show you why we stand out. And when I walk up on estimates, because I still do them during the busy season, because our Northeast locations are seasonal. So it's really hard. You know how it is, Mike. It's a shit ton of estimates in a short period of time. So I help them when I need. The amount of people that say, you have the best website. Oh my God, I love what you guys are doing. Makes me know it's working what we're doing. And then obviously I could pop up locations just to give some people revenue numbers. Our first, this will be our second year in Florida. So we're in 16, 18 months. We'll finish with $1.7 million in revenue in our second year, not for 2 years, in a 1 year time period. In our second year, And if you guys don't know, I don't live in Florida. I have a house in Florida, but I live in New York. So I'm not even there. And we're able to do revenue numbers also, which I've talked in the past, $10 a square foot in Florida. So to do these numbers is because of our brand, right? Because we're doing 30 something estimates every single week in that one location. We have 2 or 3 sales guys like in 1 year. It's because of the brand, right? So kind of answering like your question is like, show who you are. What would you want to know if you were hiring someone that might be their biggest investment ever? Don't you want to know who's showing up? Don't you want to see like their projects? Guys just take photos. No, talk about it. Talk about a double border. Talk about this. Talk about if pollen is staining the patio, how you take care of that. My famous saying is answer the questions before they ask, because then you could streamline the process.
I like that you brought up put yourself out there, get on camera, show the client so that you build that rapport before you even go out and meet them, right? That's
Yep.
a huge thing and people don't think about that too much.
Yeah, no, exactly. People love Elon Musk. People love Bill Gates. People love Jeff Bezos. Yeah, because they're out there and you're seeing their stuff. Like, guys, there's people that are there's so around. It's crazy to say this. Where Long Island, if you guys don't know, is a different world, right? We have the 42nd richest man in the world that lives in like my community. His net worth was 47 billion. Bro, no one even knows who he is because he's not out there, right? He's not showing who it is. And the guys are showing, they're doing like personal brands. Take care of the machine that will fund your other machine. So like show your material, show this, talk about situations, talk about their problem solving, right? Hit them on the hooks, which we'll go over more into like Facebook marketing and Google marketing. But like, guys, I've been doing this forever. The reason I know this stuff is trial and error. The reason people work with our company, PatioSEO, is I've already solved all this, so I could collapse time very, very fast for everybody.
With your website, how how do you get somebody to actually fill out that contact form and how um how many fields is like a good amount of fields to have in that contact form for you and so on and so forth? Like, how do you lead a client that lands on your about page or your homepage to actually go and click and actually give you their information?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So what we do, we build rapport. They're going to give their information. So there's going to be like 2, 3 types of people. The people that already know who you are, could click right on the homepage, right? Then you have the people that need a little bit of trust or relationship or rapport building, which then you could go, down on the page or on another page. Then you have the person that wants to educate and know that, like, this is a big investment. So call to actions on every page, not exact call to actions, meaning like get a free estimate today. Great. Learn more today. Build your future backyard today. Like something like in those aspects, but throughout the page, which isn't too much of a direct call to action. So it's more of like warm and inviting. Then the other thing that we do on all our call to action forms, because you have a couple of versions. We have live, like a live form where you could just, enter in, Mike, Canada, blah, blah, blah. Or the other ones when you like request and then it opens up to another page. The straight forms, the live forms, we have a video right next to it of us. Hey, this form is no spam, nothing in this way. It's an easy way to get in touch with us. Our team will email you right away, or you can give us a call or text message. So what we're doing is we're explaining things. Customer education is one of our core values that, hey, this form is like, you don't have to worry about spam or sales call. You could call us, you could text us, or you could fill this out, whatever's easier for you, right? So again, Mike, when you show up on a website and it says, and a pop-up shows up and it says, free cruise, sign up here, no one does that. So don't do that, right? Put the goggles that you're the consumer and what would you want? That blows people's minds when I say that. They're like, no, I would never do that. So I'm like, then why do you have it? They're like, I don't know. I'm like, yeah, guys, come on. Like, what would you want if you were purchasing a backyard, right?
We want to take a break from today's episode to talk about marketing. Are you looking to take your hardscape business to the next level? Well, this is brought to you by Patio SEO, the leading marketing and brand building company in the hardscape industry. And if you don't know, this company is run by James Reed, who owns multiple hardscape businesses across the country. And here's the kicker. You're not just getting access to any team. You're getting access to the very team that helped grow James's own companies, plus hundreds of others in the industry. Whether you need a killer website, targeted ads, or data-driven strategies to grow, Patio SEO has got you covered. They've been in your shoes and know exactly what works. We've had James Reed on the podcast a couple of times, and there's some of our more popular episodes, talking about branding, talking about how he's built companies across the country. And with that, he needs lots of leads, which means he's had to perfect his branding and marketing. And now you can have access to that same in-house team that he has access to for his own hardscape company. So if you're ready to build your brand and see some serious growth, check them out at PatioSEO.com. That's PatioSEO.com, or follow James on Instagram at Road to 100Ms. That's Road to 100MS. Let's get your business the attention it deserves. Now back to the episode. Have you ever played with having some sort of lead magnet that somebody downloads and you get their information from that to be able to... I've never seen this with a contractor, and this is why I ask, and it's more so for my curiosity here, but have you guys ever tried something like that?
So we've never tried it. I don't think we add that much value in any aspect of it. I would say that might be a great idea for the marketing end, right? Me sharing my experiences and then getting them in. For the contractors end, unless you were doing, again, I'm in a different market. I want cookie cutter 20 by 20, 30 by 30 patios. If you were a real designer, I could see that working, right? Because you're going to get inspiration.
Right.
There's no inspiration about a 20 by 20 patio. That's great, right? There, like, it's funny, on our Instagram and social, we have to get creative because you're sick of seeing the 20 by 20 great patio for the last 5 years, right? So going to what you're talking about, like, it will 100% work if that's your message, right? So we built this really, really great company called Nightlight. They are a landscape lighting company. They've been doing business maybe 10 years. They got to 900,000 in revenue, which is incredible for just landscape lighting, one niche, landscape lighting. Reached out to me, James, I love everything you're doing. I'm thinking about hiring someone to help with the marketing in-house. I said, don't do it, because that one person can't do it all, right? If they're going to record your video and edit the video, hey, that's a very expensive video that's going to disappear in a few minutes. So that's where we started talking. I told them about our company, and he obviously moved forward. His first year with us, he went from 900,000 to $1.9 million because we built the brand. We did, everything that we do. We built the brand. We did all that. But he is that high-end designer. So when you have those high-end houses, you want that stuff. You want to know, I never thought of, I don't know if you know a lot about lighting, Mike, but moonlighting is when you go up in a tree and put a light up there to make sure it shadows and it looks like there's a full moon and lights up your property. Very soft. I was like, Mrs. Jones doesn't know. And he's like, yeah, that's great. Let's explain it. And now we did a bunch of videos and we went over it. So now when he goes on estimates, customers are like, yeah, I want to do that moonlighting that you did. I really want to soften this area up, right? At my house, I have a nice, like, putting green, more than a putting green, chipping area, at my house in New York. I put moonlighting up because, like, it softens it up. But when you walk out, it brings your attention to, you have a chipping green. Because I saw, like, that's the message that we get across, that we want to try to go. Hit those things, those pain points. So going to your question, someone like him, the magnet thing, yes. Someone like me, no. Mike, you guys with all your cool, like, definitely it. So you have to understand who you are and who your client is, your target market, and how you're going to solve or help their problems. My clients in Affordable Patio, they just need more living space. That's it. They don't need patterns or designs. They want to get off the grass and be on something, right?
And I hope people are listening to this because know your market, know your targeted audience, and create a website content around that. James has obviously thought about this a lot. So big takeaways there in terms of that. And moving on from websites, and we can continue to touch on websites, but
Yeah,
let's get into Google, Facebook, social media if you want to. But
yeah.
what should people be looking at, contractors be looking at in terms of, Facebook, Google ads, getting leads and starting that process there?
What you said is amazing, Mike. You need to do it all, guys. You can't just be like, oh, I run Facebook ads. Oh, I do Google. There's a thing called LVT, lifetime value transaction of a client. It doesn't matter where they're coming from, is because we know we have all the data. 32% of our work is repeat and referral. So, okay, I spent a lot of money on Facebook, but if I got Mike to do a job, and then Mike refers me to someone, and that person refers me to someone, that came off that one ad spend from a year or 2 years ago, right? The other thing is why you need to do it all. Yard signs. Everyone should be doing yard signs, right? Now, they don't have time. I do it. You see it on my social. I'm out there at Sunday morning, sometimes 5 a.m., throwing up fucking yard signs. It works. I want to succeed, right? I do what it takes. So doing it all will help because they might see a yard sign. Okay, great. Well, then and this is what guys don't know, we put pixels everywhere. So there's pixels. So they see a yard sign. Maybe they go on your website. Boom, pixel follows them. Then they go on Facebook. Then they see your Facebook. Then it's just like, oh, I go back to like relook like, oh yeah, you know what? I really want to get a patio. Well, the pixel's there. So now your Google ad shows up. Like all of these things intertwine and work. Mike, I'm not sure if you work out, but like, it's like if you go to the gym and say, I'm just going to work out biceps and I'm going to be in shape. I'm going to look good. Not going to work. But for some reason, business is the same as everything. You want to look good and be in shape, you got to eat right. You got to work out your whole body. You got to do some cardio. You can't just rely on one thing because we know we have all the data. So we'll jump into something about tracking, which is what our business is now. We track all the data, and then all my feelings, all my decisions are off data, not off my gut or what I feel. So we track all that stuff. They come in, we get all that. We have SEO. So what our SEO is creating like hyper-focused pages about the town. So what town are you working in right now, Mike?
I am in Kitchener, Ontario.
So we would make a whole page about that town and all the projects we've done about in that town. That's very powerful because you're the local guy that's working around the corner. Well, we do that for every single town we're working on. So we keep building and building and building because they're like, oh, wow, this guy just did a job over here in this area. Then they click the website. Then it's the best salesman, right? So everything gets focused to the website. So going over Facebook, some guys do Messenger. They see an ad, they do a message. A lot of times it's a waste of time. It's not, it's a tire kicker. It's not worth it. Us, everyone has to go to our website because it's our best salesman. We want to show them that we're the real deal. If you're looking for the cheapest guy, we might not be it if you can't tell by the website, right? So like that's our funneling process. Everything goes through the website because our website shits on everyone's website. So why wouldn't we want to show it off? We're super proud of it than just a messenger, right? So Facebook ads, the problem with other marketing companies versus ours is the data that we've been tracking for so many years, right? We know what works. We know when to switch things. So, okay, you guys all do Facebook ads. Half the guys just do like an image. No one's buying off a still image, guys. Come on. Like your work might be great. You know what's better than that? You at the job talking about the work, showing off the work, right? What is better? So I'm a car guy. Do you think I want to flip through pictures of cars or do I want to watch videos of cars? Like, guys, it's common sense. What are we doing? Okay, you know what? Me and Mike, we look the same. Most contractors are men, kind of more like dirty, like working guys. Okay, well, you're not going to stand out. So what we do is we have all those with the owners and people in that. Then we have to make sure that we add women into it, because the women, one, is more attractive and it's softer and makes it stand out. So quick backstory. We flew down to Florida May. Florida's starting to get into like the really hot buggy season. If you guys don't know, that's when more people really want to get a screen or a roof. So me and my wife flew down there. Every video was her. Well, we went from 4 to 5, 6 estimates a week from Facebook in our Florida location to 12, because the message switched. It was a woman. It wasn't just like, hey, I'm James. I do screen rooms. Call us today. It was her like, I'm sick of these bugs, and relating to the people that are seeing the image, right? That are seeing the message. So going and thinking about that and then testing and switching. Like if I pulled up my Facebook account right now for our company, we're probably running 17 or 18 different videos on ads right now. With Facebook, we don't pick which performs well. The algorithm picks what feeds well, so does well. So feed it. Keep feeding it. We filmed this high-end crazy video once, and then we recorded one off the phone. The one off the phone did way better. It was just because it was more what the people, what the algorithm, right, wanted to see. So like feeding it in, getting comfortable, talking about the projects, talking about the problems you're solving, right? So we do retaining walls in New York because it's like hilly in some areas. Talk about the problem. Hey, do you guys need more usable space? Hey, do you feel like you can't even use half of this property? Do you Mike, I see on some of your projects, like, hey, this unusable property, we can solve that, right? Like, and it's like, oh, wow, these are the guys that could solve this problem that we're facing. Show a retaining wall. Great. Mrs. Jones doesn't care about the retaining wall. She cares about the retaining wall that her family's going to be able to hang out and entertain on the flat part. Show the kids running around. Show the kids playing a sport. No one could play soccer on a hill. Not fun, right? So utilizing that, I don't know if it's like that in your area, because I know in some parts you need the retaining walls in your area, like to make it more usable.
We want to take a break from today's episode to thank our sponsor, Cycle CPA. It's crucial to review your financial statements on a monthly basis so you can diagnose areas for improving your business's financial health early before they become significant issues. Too many contractors wait until the end of the year to review their financials as they file taxes, when it's often too late to take action to change the outcome. Cycle CPA not only handles bookkeeping and taxes, but they also ensure that you're armed with financial data on a monthly basis to make key business decisions. They offer benchmarking, cash flow forecasting, and assistance in developing targets for financial metrics. With their team of accountants specialized in the hardscape and landscape industry, they currently work with hundreds of companies in this field. Visit cyclecpa.com, and for $200 off, mention the How to Hardscape podcast. Now back to our episode.
So much to go off of there, James, and I think the biggest value with doing video ads is talking to your market and talking about what you can provide as a company. One of my best performing ads is me talking about how I'm the owner operator. I'm going to help you through it from sales, design to I am going to actually be in the field. And with that, like my hands are muddy in the video. I actually put mud on my face just to show them, because that sticks out right away when they're swiping.
Yep.
They see a person with mud on their face. Oh, what's going on there? And it's obvious that the industry, the hardscape industry, and you're talking about these different pain points that our listeners can bring up in their videos and in their ads to target a specific pain point.
Exactly. So same thing with Google Ads. Google Ads isn't that creative because it's just the meta description, the title, like there's not much there. Social, it's more, how can I say it? Like call to action, trying to get people in. Google, they're searching, right? So Google is, you need people to land on the website, which you just spend money and you have to have a great website. I don't know. Is there a message you're going to get in and with 11 words? I don't know. But they're going to click through a bunch. But going to what we talked about the website, you got to stand out from the others, right, to show up. And then tracking the data. If you're spending X amount of dollars on a lead and you know your close rate is 30, 40%, does that make sense? Because that's what I tell people. Just this is going to blow people's mind. We spend almost $30,000 a month on ad spend. And people are like, that is nuts. Like, I could never fathom that. When I show them the data, they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. You spend 30, you bring in what? What do we do? What are we bringing in? Like 200 to 300 estimates, and our close rate is 30%. So, all right, there's 90 jobs. Let's just say average job is 10 grand. What is that? $900,000 of revenue off of 30 grand. Our gross profit on those jobs is 400 grand for like, it's all data driven now. So like, yeah, that's why I don't mind spending the money, because it's not like I'm just shooting from the hip. This works good. We should adjust this. We'll sometimes have Facebook ads convert as an estimate as $100. $100 on $1,000, I'm going to get 2 or 3 jobs. Raise that budget up. Raise it up. We'll spend 200 a day, 300 a day. People think I'm nuts that don't look at the data. I look at the data. Wait, if I spend 300 a day, I'm going to get 3 estimates and I'm going to get one of those jobs. It's a no-brainer, right? So Mike, what would you say your average ticket of a job is?
Average ticket this year is lower. We're around like 9 to 12,000.
Okay, perfect. So 9 to 12,000. If you guys are if you're not subcontracting and you're doing it to work yourself, you're usually around a 50% gross profit. Usually labor material. So wait, for $300, Mike, you're left with $5,000 to $6,000 of gross profit. If you were an investment bank and I said, hey, for $400, I'm going to give you $4,000 back, you'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm doing that. Like, so why don't you do that with your business, right? The biggest brands, Apple, Amazon, Coca-Cola, all they do is advertise because you want to be in front of everybody and you want to be leading it. Anyone in the Northeast knows Cambridge. Cambridge pavers spend $17 million a year almost on advertising. And guess what? They are the biggest paver company right now in growth. Like Bellegarde's bigger, Tackle Block's maybe bigger, but they've only been around for 20 years. It's what marketing does. This is really good, guys. It collapses time. So yeah, you could wait 15 years and do 1.5 million in repeat and referral work, or you just market the hell out of the company. You do it in 3 years, and then you're there quicker. You either lose my saying, I keep saying my sayings, but my saying is lose it now or lose it later. Wait 15 years to do 1.5. I'm just using numbers, or do it in 3 years and hit 1.5. And then in 15 years, you'll be doing a bigger, better company. People are blown away about how calm, collective, not stressed I am. Mike, we talk all the time. You hear my energy and my passion is because my company's so much bigger now that I get to do the things I enjoy every single day. And I'm not talking about I love work. I love business. Like I love this. I love talking to you. I love spending time with the marketing, looking at client stuff. Like, yeah, that looks good. So that's why I have all this energy and all this passion always, is because it's like I'm doing what I love. Where now when there's a problem on a job site, it has to go through 2 or 3 people before I even hear it. And most of the time they know, like, what am I going to do? Like, I'm not even there, right? So my Florida location. Hey, James, truck broke down. We got to drop it off the mechanic. Sounds good. Hey, James, it was this. It's $7,000. I'm like, all right, sounds good. They're like, how are you not stressing out? It's like, it's the nature of the bit. We keep it moving. I'll get more jobs. We'll keep it going. I can't take my foot off the gas pedal. Going on a different topic with that, a lot of guys get busy in the spring. And Mike, you might have faced this. You shut off your ads or lower marketing because you're too busy. Worst thing you could ever do in a seasonal business, run the ads. When you're too busy, I would up the ads to make sure if clients don't want to wait 6 to 8 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever, that's fine. But getting them in the door and meeting them is better than not. Years ago, when I first started, I shut the ads off because we were too busy. Oh my God, we're out a month. We're out 6 weeks. This is awful. Well, guess what? After 6, 7 weeks, we had half the amount of work because we shut the ads off. We run ads all year. We run them over the winter. We don't spend a lot, maybe $500 to $1,000 a month over the winter in New York when it's snowing, because you don't know if they see that ad and watch it, they'll keep seeing the ad. They're interested. The pixels will start to follow. Guys, this is controlling your clients, getting them what they want, solving their problems. Well, guess what? My conversion's a lot less over the winter because no one else is running ads. So I look at data. I don't care about spending money to make money. Everyone listening has no problem taking a picture of their $70,000 Ford F-350 they just bought, where my domain, affordablepatio.com, was like $17,000. People think that I was crazy when I bought it. Guys, my company's is worth in the tens of millions of dollars now because I bought that domain. That's the brand. Everything goes through it. I don't know if it's like this in Canada. If you cut your hand, Mike, what are you going to ask me for? Like a little cut on your finger?
A bandage?
Okay.
Or a
So,
Band-Aid.
perfect example.
A Band-Aid.
A Band-Aid.
Yeah.
A Band-Aid's the brand.
Yeah.
What you really need is a bandage. Same thing. Guys say, oh, yeah, you do Bobcat service? I do skid steer service. I don't own a Bobcat. I own a Caterpillar or a Komatsu. Bobcat branded that machine that's what it's called. An excavator, no one associates an excavator with a brand, but Bobcat killed it with the skid steer that now people say, I don't know if it's like that by you, but by us, it's called Bobcat. Only the third of the people even have a Bobcat brand, but that machine is a Bobcat no matter what.
You've mentioned pixel many times. Can you explain to our audience what a pixel is and the importance of retargeting?
Yeah. So a pixel basically is when someone lands, like if you ever see like cookies, like if you want to, it basically follows them, similar to, not as advanced, obviously, but you magically talking about buying a new car and now you start to see car ads. That's very advanced. We can't do that or afford that, or that would be awesome. But what we try to do, but I don't know, Facebook might do that. So then Facebook notices, oh, that person's trying to do that. If you notice when you click one video, it could be a funny cat video. Then you start to see a lot more cat videos. Well, that's the same thing with Facebook ads with pixels. When they click it, they'll start to feed more of your stuff. They'll show more of your organic stuff. If you go on Google, it's going to show my website because you've already been there or seen it. It associates it. It's attracted to each other. So things like that, if you do YouTube ads, if they're on Google, they might see your YouTube ad because you've already been on there. And then the people are going to know the honest and trust and everything in that aspect. So again, the pixel is just something that follows you and gives you what you want to see.
Knowledge Tree Consulting, George and Peter of Oriole Landscaping. You've heard me talk about them on previous episodes. They have an event coming up August 19th to the 20th. This is going to be a behind-the-scenes tour of Koivik, a second-generation multi-division firm known for operational excellence and exceptional results. I went to a Knowledge Tree Consulting event last year. That was with Earthscape. You've heard me have Sam Bauman on from that business, and this was a really great event. I cannot recommend this enough. The first day, there's going to be a welcome reception and an optional networking dinner. The next day, early in the morning, departing for Koivik, doing the facility tour, which includes the shop, soil production, specimen tree nursery, office operations, and client experience. So you rotate through those different areas. And then after that facility tour, back at the hotel, there's going to be strategy sessions and then an evening dinner. This is in Toronto. The shop is in Milton. And there's going to be a link in the show notes for you to get 50% off your tickets through the How to Hardscape podcast. So click that link, learn more about that event, and register today.
So I've gotten lots of messages recently, and just from hopping on lives here and there, like it seems either contractors are doing really well or it's like one of the most difficult years they've experienced in 15 years or so. What can a contractor do to start bringing in leads now? Or is this something that like, hey, it would have been best to start this when you were busy to get that brand association rolling to help you during the harder times. But let's start now so that we can get this going in the harder times.
Yeah. So this year is a lot more rough. You know, obviously it's a little harder. We feel it in our locations that are a little more established. But all I did was just up the ad. So I don't know. By the end of the year, it might be just as good as the other ones. I don't know yet. But we noticed estimates were down, revenue was down. We noticed those type of things. So to answer your question, there is not going to be a instant fix, anything that's right away. But what you just said, when you started your business, you buy trucks, you buy equipment, you invest. You don't make money on your first job and you're like, oh, fuck, I'm rich. Same with building your brand, right? So to answer your question, yeah, it's great to start now. Will you get your ROI? No, but you didn't get your ROI on that truck. You didn't get your ROI on that machine yet. It's for the long term. What you put in now, you'll reap the benefits next year. So you're someone like myself that's just like, oh, yeah, we'll still grow over $1 million this year in revenue. We're growing $1 million every year. So it's like, why? It's because of the investments that people don't see. I don't know if you follow sports. Champions are made in the preseason, right? So like, set this up. Will you get some traction? Yeah. One problem with these guys that don't have a lot of work, they're invisible. No one knows who they are. No one sees them, right? Being out there, putting out the yard signs, doing the videos, people will see you, right? Meeting with people, networking, getting out there. You want to network? The more hands you shake, the more money you make. Network people. Okay, Mike seems like a great guy. Then they're on Facebook and they see Mike's ads and they're like, oh, whoa, I didn't know Mike. Wow, Mike, you're really killing it. Like, that's what we love for when people, like clients always tell us. They're like, oh, yeah, you know what I hear all the time? Oh, man, wow, Mike, you're really killing it. No, I was doing the same thing. I was just invisible and you guys never saw me doing it, right? Yeah. So getting out in front, if you wanted to do a quick hit, every market's different. So Facebook on Long Island, Facebook, Instagram, killing it. Google is like secondary. Florida, Google, we're killing it. Yard signs is second, and then Facebook is third. Doesn't mean I'm not doing Facebook. It's just, hey, some places, I don't know about you guys in Canada, I know on the West Coast, so a lot of people use like Yelp and Angie's List, where like the Northeast, no one's going on Yelp. No one's doing any of that, right? So like you have to understand what's working in the market, but not be scared to do it all. So like stopping Facebook, it's like, oh man, I only got 10 estimates or 3 estimates this month, and I spent $2,000. This isn't worth it. You don't know. People might be seeing you off a yard sign, seeing your truck, seeing you on Google, but they saw you also there. So they're saying you need a minimum of 7 to 12 touch points before someone will build or trust you. Same thing with me, our relationship, Mike, right? Like you trust me when we first met. I think Shane, maybe Royal Stone recommended or whatever.
Right.
And then you went and saw me on Instagram, and then you're like, oh, this guy, yeah, wow, he's the real deal. Then we met each other at the Hardscape show, and we were like instantly friends because of the rapport and the amount of times that we've seen each other.
And you've touched on this, but let's just hit this home. Marketing is all about testing, right? Like you said, different locations are going to have different things. Even I say it year to year. Like Google ads last year for me were great. This year almost brought in nothing, but Facebook ads just jumped like crazy for me. I don't know if that had more to do with, my videos that I was developing over the off season for Facebook ads, but test, refine. And that seems to be the game plan when it comes to marketing.
That's the whole game plan, right? You would never drive to my house from Canada if your gas gauge didn't work. You would never drive your car if your temperature gauge was broken. Your business is a machine. You need to get all your gauges to be like, this is hitting, this is working. What's this? What's that? Okay, great. Okay. SEO work. SEO work takes time. It's like real estate. The ROI is not going to be there. But now if you go on we're ranked first everywhere because of the last 5 years of building it, right? So now I'm reaping the benefits. People have no problem investing $200,000 in real estate and making $500 a month, but in 10 or 15 years, they're really going to make the money. So do that with your business. Invest it. guys invest their money. The biggest ROI is investing it in yourself and in your business. Everyone knows that, right? 200 grand into a piece of real estate will never make as much as 200 grand into your own business, right? Spending 200 grand on ads, I'm just using this for example, will generate more money and make you more and the valuation of your company way more than that one piece of property. So that's the other thing, and I'm just going to touch on this. Contracting industry sucks because there's no pension, there's no retirement, and there's usually no exit, right? Mike, I don't know if you would value your company that much. Most likely not, because it's just equipment and they like Mike, right? I don't mean to knock you. You said you were owner, operator. I'm on your job. I don't want to buy your company because Mike's not there anymore. When you build a brand like mine, people want to buy my company because Mike could jump into my company and it runs. It doesn't need me. The leads are coming in. So building your brand is for your future. Do you want to have an exit? So my Instagram is Road to 100 M's. I'm trying to build a company that's worth $100 million. You have to do that when the brand is there. You can't just do it unless you were doing like contracts, like government work or something like that. But okay, then we're not your target market, right? Mine is brand building, getting people in the door, being proud of your brand, and expressing it to everybody.
James, the number one type of people that I have reaching out to me to be on the podcast, to sponsor the podcast, are marketers. And
really?
Yeah, it's been a recurring thing, and it seems like everybody's a marketer these days. But that's just how strongly I do believe in you, what you've done, the brand you've built, and talking about marketing to our audience in general, but also Patio SEO. And we talked about it off air for quite some time before we actually brought you on as a sponsor. And I do want to hit this home that it does, like what you've built and the person that you are and how in touch with the industry. And I want to hit that home very hard. In touch with the industry and starting a marketing company to help out other contractors, as opposed to seeing this industry and trying to dive in as a marketer, is a very big difference, especially the marketers that came in during that 3-year stretch here where we had a boom and it was easy to do marketing. Yep. Dangle a fish in front of somebody who was very hungry, like a client just looking for a contractor to get it done. That was easy. This is the hard time. James, let's talk about Patio SEO. What can Patio SEO do for contractors coming in? Establish that for us.
Yeah, so we are a marketing brand building company. That's what we're good at. You talked about it. We don't compete with the guys that are just marketing companies. So you're in Canada. I know you probably use TechoBlock or Unilock, right? Yep. Which one do you use?
Techo mostly, but some Unilock.
Okay, cool. Techo. My guys already know, yeah, you're running Blue 60. Like we already know your materials. We know everything. We have the content. We have the systems. We have everything already made. So we, again, collapse the time and know what the customers really want. We do not really do just Facebook ads or just Google ads, or we do just website building. This is because of the person I am. I don't want you. This is going to sound like a flex. I don't need your $900. I don't need your $1,000. I don't need your $5,000. I want to build you something that you're proud of, so I'm proud of it. That the reason we don't do that, I can't guarantee you're going to succeed. Going back to the gym. I can't be your personal trainer if you're going to eat cheeseburgers every day and I'm just there telling you what to lift. I just am not that person, right? I have multi-million-dollar companies. So like just being like, oh yeah, Mike, do Facebook ads. Cool. We're not like that, right? What I want to do is I like to build brands and like to market and advertise and help build something that's bigger than just running ads for you. We make websites. We make project playbooks. Project playbooks is something that we made up that when you get off the phone, the girls in the office send another hidden website with every question, videos, installation, everything to really be like, oh, wow, no one else sent me that. Yeah, this is a project playbook for even if you go with someone else. This is how you should install. Here's colors. It warms up the process, right? So what we like to do is implement everything that we've learned that we do for our companies into other people's companies. So we are the brand building. Our best one that we do is called our fractional CMO, which is everything. websites, social media, Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO work. I don't know if you guys know, there's a Google My Business updates. We update your Google My Business once or twice a week with photos and images, like so much on it. We're making hyper-focus pages. We help give you brochures that when you're on estimates to really help sell the project. So that's our main focus. We do Google ads, Facebook ads, but we really recommend to do it as a together because we don't. My perfect example, Google did better in Florida than Facebook ads, and then vice versa in New York. Like, I don't want you to fail if we don't know what's going to perform best in your market, right? It's not worth it for us. It's not worth it for you. And that's the big thing that we're trying to express. I've done it. I've spent my own money. I've built my own team. And now you guys basically get a plugin, a bolt-on feature. So I'm a car guy. You guys don't have to make the turbo. The turbo's made. You just bolt it onto your vehicle. I engineered the turbo. I tested it. I ran it through. I saw the hiccups. I saw the problems. Now we can collapse time. Like example, the Nightlight, that we doubled his business in 1 year because he was doing it right. He just didn't have the right people in the right seats. So that's like the biggest thing that I recommend. And again, the websites we do. We get a little hesitant on just website building because it's great. But what Evo always says is it's just there to collect dust. Because if you're not going to promote it and show it off, what's the point of it, right? For referral work or whatnot. But we do build them. We just want to make sure that we're getting you the best results and keep moving the ball forward because you'll reap the benefits in the future. You might reach if this is the best. Our clients that join in January, their season's great because January, February, March is building, and they're ready to fucking go. People this time of the year, it's building for next season, which is great too, because now you've been prepping. Your preseason was even longer, ready to rock and roll. And you'll still get action and traction before that, but you're ready to go. I like saying I wait for the season. The season doesn't wait for me. So what you talked about earlier, Mike, now they're running out and they're worried that they don't have work. It's because the season was waiting on you. Now you're behind the ball.
James, is there anything else that you want to touch on marketing-wise before we close up this episode? For our audience listening, Patio SEO is where you would want to go. But anything else that you'd want to hit on that we may have missed out for our audience?
No, there's so much to it. So I think we nailed a lot of it. Obviously, you guys could go on my social, Road to 100 MS, and I have calls with clients where you could hear things that we're talking about. You'll see a lot. You could check out our website, affordablepatio.com. You'll see we're the real deal right away when you go through it. You'll notice you're going to spend 15, 20 minutes on it. Then go back on your website, see if you could maybe rewrite your whole website in 15 minutes. So that's basically it. You guys could DM me, whatever you like. I'm always here to help.
Awesome. James, thank you so much.
Mike, thanks. I love being on.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast episode. Once again, go to PatioSEO.com and get that conversation started today. See what they can do for your hardscaping business. This seems to be a little bit more of a difficult year than the past 5 years or so for a lot of contractors that I've spoken to. So getting this conversation started sooner rather than later is going to help you in the long run. Once again, that is PatioSEO.com. And before we leave, we want to say thank you to our sponsors. Cycle CPA, if you're looking for bookkeeping, accounting, CFO services, reach out to Cycle CPA at cyclecpa.com. Let them know How to Hardscape sent you for money off their services there. PatioSEO.com. And now you know Patio SEO can take your hardscape business to the next level. James Reed and his expert team have built a reputation on success, not just for their own companies, but for hundreds of others just like yours. So don't wait. Visit PatioSEO.com to learn more and get started. But also be sure to follow James's journey on Instagram at Road to 100 M's. That's Road to 100 MS for behind the scenes tips and insights. And I do recommend checking that out and following along to that. Ready to build your brand? Patio SEO is here to help you every step of the way. August 19th to the 20th, Knowledge Tree Consulting is having another event at Koivik. This event is in Toronto. Koivik is in Milton. I went to their event last year with Earthscape. It was awesome. I can't recommend this enough. There's going to be a link in the show notes for you to sign up for it and get 50% off your tickets today. If you're planning to go to Hardscape North America in Louisville, Kentucky, October 22nd to the 24th, you can use promo code VIPHTH to sign up, get 50% off your registration. That also gives us a little bit of a kickback and helps us here at the How to Hardscape podcast. And we look forward to meeting with you next week on the How to Hardscape podcast.